Welcome to Episode 9 of Inside Sailing, your monthly roundup of global sailing action. Episode 8 saw us head to Singapore, Turkey, Greece and Italy. Youth sailors headlined the Singapore National Championships in June, then we were off to the Mediterranean for 3 annual classics on the offshore calendar. Andros in Greece hosted its namesake, the 47th Andros International Yacht Race, where teams island hopped in a mix of offshore and inshore races. The professional world of Grand Prix racing was next for an all-star talent parade at the Audi TP52 World Championships in the spectacular venue of Porto Cervo, hosted by the yacht club Costa Smeralda. Istanbul provided the dramatic backdrop for the 13th Bosphorus Cup in Turkey. 80 teams competed in windward-leeward races and the iconic long-distance race in the Bosphorus Straits. In Episode 9, we cover the length and breadth of sailing as we catch up with the 5 totally different sailing disciplines hosted in 5 distinct locations. Different boats, different speeds and different racetracks, from tight lakes to open seas, close to the shore and harbour racing. Whether your interest is one design racing, where the skill of the sailor determines a win, or open design class racing on handicap, Inside Sailing has something for all. We start with something a bit different, racing but not as we know it. State-of-the-art powerboats inspired by nature and powered by innovation. Welcome to the world of solar power and the first ever Solar One Monte Carlo Cup, hosted by the prestigious Yacht Club de Monaco. The event made history as the first solar-powered boat race on the Mediterranean. An event created to change opinions and impact minds, Yacht Club de Monaco has long been at the forefront of innovation in boating and is renowned for hosting world-class events. More than 100 years after the Yacht Club de Monaco established the Grand Monaco Powerboat Meeting in 1904, the club pioneered the inaugural Solar One Monte Carlo Cup. The club vision links closely with the Principality of Monaco to lead in environmental protection. The goal of the organisers is to team up minds and become a testing ground for advances in eco-friendly technology.
So we wanted to make sure for the public that they understand you can have fun racing on the water at high speeds, but do that totally environmental friendly. So this is how we invented the solar racers, which only take the power from the sun, and we use that to go forward, no fossil fuels at all.
Fielding 12 international teams from 3 continents, racing was in slalom, fleet and sprint divisions in 3 different classes: Challenge A class, Open class and the foiling V20 class, which reaches speeds of nearly 30 knots. Each class is designed to a different specification, with the futuristic boats from the drawing boards of undergraduates and professionals. Race Day 1 hosted the Fleet Racing, an endurance race testing the durability of batteries and performance of boats on a course around Lavoto Bay. Race Day 2 moved on to slalom, with boats individually timed from start to finish in a test of manoeuvrability, and one-on-one sprint racing. The Russian team won the foiling V20 class, whilst hosts Monaco took 3rd. At the closing dinner, Sovereign Prince Albert II, president of the Yacht Club de Monaco and a well-known advocate of environmental initiatives, warmly congratulated all the teams. We now return to more conventional sailing and a grand lady of racing, the Star Class. Despite its removal from the Olympics after the London 2012 Olympics, the Star continues to attract the world's top sailors. Lake Garda played host to the 2014 Star Class World Championships from the enchanting town of Malchesna on the eastern shore of the lake. Renowned for stunning sailing conditions, the spectacular lake location with mountains rising up both shores serves up winds day after day, and usually the predictable afternoon thermal breeze, the aura, kicks in. But the wind always has off days, as it did for the 87 teams at the Star Worlds. Of the class's most decorated names, including 4 Olympic medalists, 11 Olympians and 7 Star World Champions, were on the roll call. Brazil's Torben Grael, the USA's Mark Reynolds, France's Xavier Rojas, Italy's Roberto Benamati and Germany's Alex Hagen were just a few of the heroes competing in Italy. In contrast to the usual thermal breeze, day 1 saw a delayed start waiting for the aura to kick in. The win went to Germany's Robert Staniek and Fridtjof Kleen after a tremendous battle against Greece's Emilios Papathanassiou and Antonis Totras. Race day 2 climaxed to a 5-second margin between first and second, with the win to Brazil's Lars Grael and Samuel Gonçalves, a few meters ahead of Italy's Diego Negri and Sergio Lambertenghi. On to day 4, and an early start was scheduled to fit in 2 races, but racing was postponed as teams waited for the wind to decrease. Papathanassiou and Totras took the win in race 3. The USA's 4th of July celebrations on race day 5 appropriately saw the win in the hands of USA's Augie Diaz and Arnis Boltins, pushing them into the top 5 overall. Dramatic racing on the final day as the Star Worlds were decided on the last leg of the last race. Struggling back in the pack, Germany's Staniek and Kleen managed to move up to 12th place, enough to win the Worlds by 2 points over Negri and Lambertenghi. Glory to Germany and the honour of now carrying a gold star on their mainsail. After the break, we shift gear and move to some of the fastest Olympic sailing classes, as well as the rocket-propelled world of kiteboarding. Just before the break, we took a glimpse at the first ever solar-powered event and the Star World Championship. Next, we move to something faster and physically demanding. The high-octane world of skiffs and the 2014 Seiko 49er and 49er FX European Championships in Finland, a third-time visit to Helsinki for the Europeans. This year's European Championships were tough, with difficult conditions each day testing crews and equipment to the maximum, and for sure favouriting the more experienced teams as the race course was battered by strong winds and waves. Controlling a 49er in a breeze takes immense skill and agility, as the powerful sail area pushes boats around the track at a furious pace. The best would be in a class of their own. Day 3 was the final day of qualification, so make or break to advance through to the Gold Fleet and have a shot at the podium. An 18 to 25 knots breeze and choppy sea meant the 3-lap races were physically demanding. Disaster for some, including Italy's Francesca Klapšić and Giulia Conti, who were forced to pull out after Klapšić severely damaged her ankle when she fell from the 49er FX wing into the mainsail during a capsize. Injury comes easy in the strong breeze. Defending European champions in the 49er, Peter Burling and Blair Took from New Zealand continued their campaign programme on top form. The pair have won every event contested so far this year, including wins at the ISAF Sailing World Cup Jerez and ISAF Sailing World Cup Palma. Their 2014 results followed on from a successful 2013, including the 49er World title also in their hands. The pair has also enjoyed a full year of professional sailing, racing with Emirates Team New Zealand on the Extreme 40 Sailing Series Tour. They arrived in Helsinki fresh from Russia and Extreme Sailing Series Act 4 in St. Petersburg. The skills to be at the top of your game, like this pair show, are a rare combination of athletic ability and determination to succeed that can only be seen in great champions. The Kiwis went into the 3-medal races with an 11-point margin over the 2012 Olympic champions from Australia, Outridge and Jensen. The battle was on for the silver and bronze medals between the Aussies, Great Britain's Dylan Fletcher and Alan Syne, and Germany's Eric Hale and Thomas Plowessel. A perfect 2 races gave the overall title to the Kiwis with a race to spare, and the battle was now on between the Europeans as to who would seal the European title. The Germans knocked out an exceptional scoreline of 3-2-3, taking the silver medal and European crown by just over 2 points from the British. In the 49er FX, defending European champions, Denmark's Nielsen and Olsen recovered from a shaky moment to finish 6th in the first race after some close battles with New Zealand's reigning world champions Maloney and Meach. Not a good outcome. In no way disheartened, the Danes put the hammer down to win the final 2 races, securing victory for the 2nd year. Brazil's Grael and Kunze finished with 2 third places, putting them on equal points with the Kiwis, but winning the silver medal on tiebreak. So, bronze to the Kiwis. With the European Championship season in full swing, we head to Turkey and catch up with another super-fast Olympic event, RSX Windsurfing. Çeşme, one of Turkey's most popular resorts, hosted the RSX Europeans and Youth Europeans from the 28th of June to the 5th of July. 227 athletes from 39 nations saw Olympians and youth sailors lined up. Rivals to face, scores to settle, and new stars in the making. The stage was set for spectacular racing. It was all a bit different just 2 years ago in 2012, with windsurfing out of the 2016 Olympics in favour of kiteboarding. Pitched against each other, there was a place for only one at the 2016 Olympics. Kiteboarding was selected, but celebrations were short-lived, as in an unprecedented U-turn, the world governing body ISAF reinstated windsurfing and ousted the kites. First included at the 1984 Olympics and backed by a global infrastructure and national training programs, the RSX bounced back the Olympic program even stronger. In November 2013, along with the other existing Olympic events, windsurfing was confirmed for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Windsurfing ticks all the boxes: world-class competition, accessibility, spectator appeal, a youth-to-adult pathway, and lifestyle sport.
This board is really strong. I mean, it does the job, and only with one sail and one board, one fin, all the same, one design, no weapon race. The secret of the RSX when you will never have this with kite surfing, with the box rule, or you will never have this with Formula windsurfing, because it's just money will make the difference. Here it's like equal chance for everybody, and just the best will win at the end.
Reigning European champions Byron Kokolanis of Greece and Charline Picon of France were back to defend their titles. Going into the 2014 Europeans, Kokolanis held a number 12 world ranking. Noteworthy was the fact that he had finished in the top 3 at every event he had contested since February 2013. Consistent form in his game.
The goal is, of course, to maintain the second place and try my best to go, if possible, at first. It's going to be really hard. The Polish guys and the French, Julian, they're really fast as well, so it's up to the details who is going to be on the top, and I hope in the end it works for me.
For Picon, a win and a 6th at the ISAF Sailing World Cup event she contested in 2014 placed her as world number 8. Both look strong for a repeat European success in 2014.
European this year it's very strong because it just needs Chinese, so it's like a world, and the world in strong green, it's crazy.
The RSX men and RSX women use exactly the same board. The only difference is in the sail area. Men use a larger 9.5 square metre sail compared to the women's 8.5 square metres. The smaller sail is easier for the women to handle, and it is logical to use different sail sizes to reflect the physical physiques of men and women. Equipment is one design, so it is exactly the same, and the aim is that the sailor with the most talent and ability wins. Physically, the best windsurfers are tall, lean, and extremely fit. The racing format for the RSX men was a 2-day qualification, after which the 72 fleet was split into gold and silver. The 42-strong women's fleet sailed one series through until the medal race. The championship was tough, with strong winds every day, so much that on day 4 the fleet was kept ashore in the extreme conditions. That didn't stop the thrill seekers from jumping at the chance to head out on their short boards and blast around. Picon didn't have the best start to her defence bid, with a black flag penalty on day 1. She fought back on day 2 with a win and a 4th to move into the lead, but no room for another mistake on her scorecard. In the RSX men, 2011 European champion Piotr Micka of Poland excelled on day 1 with a hat-trick of wins to take the lead. By the halfway stage, the leaderboard was shaping up. Spain's 2012 Olympic gold medalist Marina Alabau led the women, and Micka held a safe lead in the men. It is critical to establish a consistent point score early on in a championship, but with no racing on the penultimate day, those hoping to consolidate places or shift up the leaderboard had lost their chance. The medal race double points soon stack up. 2 points the winner increases to 20 points for the last placed. So, 8 races done, 1 medal race to go, and a final chance at the podium. Picon was guaranteed a medal in the RSX women with just the colour to decide. Behind, points were so tight that 6 athletes could climb to the podium and 2 could grasp gold. Despite winning 6 of the 8 races, the points behind leader Micka were so close that 5 sailors had a shot at gold in the men. Mitska had to finish mid-fleet to secure gold, but what happened after the start will rank as one of his worst nightmares. A crash with teammate Tarnowski threw them into the water in spectacular fashion. As France's Julien Bontemps led the race and the gold medal slipped away, Mitska fought back. With steely determination, he caught up to finish 6th, sealing gold by 2 points. Disappointment for Kokolanis, who finished in 4th overall. Picon secured the women's Europeans, leaving Olympic gold medalist Alabau in 2nd and Olympic bronze medalist Klepachka in 3rd. We now step across to kiteboarding, one of the fastest disciplines of sailing, and the Kite Course Racing African Championships in Soma Bay, Egypt, a return for the championship which was first held here in 2013. Soma Bay is a perfect venue with crystal waters, pristine sandy beaches and windy conditions. The northwesterly breeze between 20 and 30 knots blows straight in from the desert, just what a kiter needs. So no surprise to see some pumped up and happy faces, as kiteboarders simply love racing in Egypt. The best athletes from all over Europe made the trip here, with big names like Ricardo Ledceza, Florian Gruber, Stefan Ollie Bridge, Elena Kalanina and Spanish young gun Alejandro Clement Hernandez in the starting list. As well as racing, riders tested new equipment, tactics and skills as they took the opportunity to gauge their performance against each other in this first major kiting event of 2014. The big star at the Kite African Championship was unquestionably the young German Florian Gruber. He dominated the racetrack in 2013 with wins including a gold medal haul at 2013 Kite Course Racing Worlds in China and the 2013 Oceanic Kite Championships in Perth. He knows he is the one to beat and is closely watched by his rivals. One of his challengers, Ricardo Ledceza, was in excellent physical and mental condition, winning race after race on Soma Bay in a show of superiority. In the women's fleet, Russian rider Elena Kalanina is renowned for performing in light winds and normally struggles as the breeze increases. Despite the strong winds for the first 2 days, she took an early lead to secure race wins ahead of the more experienced kiting star Steph Bridge. The final race day 5 dawned with light winds and 3 races scheduled. Motivated by Gruber's win in the opening race, Ledceza proved unstoppable and was crowned champion. In the women, Kalanina put in another invincible performance to claim gold. Join us for Inside Sailing Episode 10 when we return to the exclusive world of big boat racing and the 33rd Copa del Rey, or King's Cup, in Palma de Mallorca. From the Star Worlds, we head on Lake Brunnen in Switzerland. And finally, we drop in on offshore sailing at the Rhodos Cup and the idyllic Doka Denise Islands in Greece. Join us next month for more world-class racing.